What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at this brand new 2021 Ford Ranger. Huge shout out and thank you to Mooresville Ford for providing this new truck for today's video. Check out the link to their website in the description below. They have a huge selection of the 2021 Ford lineup, so definitely check them out. And the model that we're looking at today is an XLT finished off in Cactus Gray. It's a SuperCrew with a 5-foot bed and has an MSRP at $37,700. Underneath the hood, the Ford Ranger utilizes a 2.3 liter inline 4-cylinder EcoBoost engine. This cranks out 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. The engine is paired to the 10-speed automatic transmission and of course has the optional 4-wheel drive system. And with a curb weight around 4,400 pounds and running on an 18-gallon fuel tank, you can expect to get 20 miles per gallon in the city and 24 out on the highway. The overall length is 210.8 inches with a wheelbase at 126.8. The height is 71.5 with width at 73.3 inches. And then as far as off-road capabilities, approach angle comes in around 28.7 degrees with departure at 25.4 degrees. The breakover is 21.5 and minimum ground clearance is 8.9 inches. Taking a look at the styling now of this 2021 Ford Ranger, you can see these halogen headlights with blacked out housings and then a gun metallic gray grille with Ranger written out above that. You have a lot of mesh openings to allow maximum cooling to the intercooler. Of course, we have your Ford logo right in the center. The lower bumper is finished off in that same gray color with another large opening in the center for more cooling to the radiators. You can see the fog lights on the farthest sides as well as metal tow hooks down below and a little bit of silver trim in the center portion. The front end flows together very well to give it a classic Ford design, and it blends seamlessly to the hood with a lot of nice body contours to give this a taller appearance. You can see how the front end even bends around to these front fenders with nice wheel arches above these front tires. We get a black set of fender flares both up front and in the back, and then we get a set of 17-inch wheels in all four corners finished off in that same gray metallic accent color that you saw up front. They're a multi-spoke split design that has a really cool look, and they're also wrapped in a Bridgestone all-terrain tire, and then you can see the ventilated disc brakes behind that. The side profile has a very proportional design, especially with the shorter bed and the crew cab. We get a set of black door handles and black mirror caps, as well as more black trim around these windows. Up front, you can see the Ranger XLT logo on this front fender, and there's some smooth lines going through the doors in the lower portion. We also have the Sport 4x4 logo on the back of the bedside and the side exit exhaust. And then the roof features a shark fin antenna. And then moving to the rear end of this Ranger, you can see the red housings on these LED taillights. They also house the radar system for the blind spot alert, and they say Ranger on the sides. We have that same gray color for the rear bumper, and it houses 4 parking sensors. The trailer hitch is right in the center with all the connections on the left side. Ranger is stamped into the lower portion of the tailgate, and then we have your Ford logo right in the center with the standard backup camera and your tailgate release handle above that. So there's a good look at the exterior and some of the specs on the 2021 Ford Ranger. Comment below, what do you guys think of this truck? I especially like it in the Cactus Gray. I think that's a fantastic color. We now have Ford's key fob. By just tapping the unlock button, we can unlock it, and then grabbing the door handle, we can check out the interior. This truck features a black interior, and you're also going to see some gray accents all throughout. If we go ahead and take a look at the door panel now, it's finished off in black. We have fabric on the upper side as well as some padding for the armrest, then all of your window controls and the grab handle, the release handles above that with lock and unlock, and then we get a little bit of storage space down below. Moving inside to the truck now, you can see all of your manual controls on the left side of the seat. We have recline, lumbar support, and up and down movements. We have black fabric seats with some contrast stitching and a really cool striping pattern within the centers. You can see how everything runs up the entire backrest, all the way up to the headrest with more of the stitching. And then we do get a black leather steering wheel with a contrast stitching and the dark gray accents. And then now inside the Ford Ranger, just flipping the key out of the fob, I can insert it into the ignition and we can fire it up. Taking a look at the gauge cluster now, we have an analog speedometer over on the right with your fuel level, and then your tachometer on the left side with your engine temperature. We have a digital display right in the center that you can control using the buttons on the left side of the steering wheel. If I go ahead and scroll through this now with your odometer, you can also see trip information, your fuel economy, more information like that, and your digital speed. Going over to the left, you can see more information within the vehicle. Going under truck information, you can see power distribution, and then going back over, you can go into driver's assistance. That all comes up. You can adjust what safety settings you would like on your truck. Continuing over, we have settings. You can go through all of this and display everything you want to see. So I like the little bit of information you can control within this truck. Then if we take a look at the actual steering wheel now, we have those controls on the left side with all of your cruise control on the bottom side. And then over to the right, we have Bluetooth and audio controls for the truck. We have your windshield wipers over on the right side, and then your turn signal, stalk, and high beams on the left. To the left of the steering wheel now, we have all of your headlight controls as well as a dome light for the bed. And then we have an air vent above that with all of your mirror controls. Black runs around the entire dashboard with a little bit of storage in the center. We even get Ranger stamped into the right side of the dash with this cool color design. More trim around all of the air vents. And then we get to this Sync 3 infotainment system. You can see all the different controls with your home right now with 3 different configurable screens. We have your audio icon as well as climate control. Tapping this icon, all the things come up right on the screen, which is a really convenient touch. We have your phone integration as well as different apps for the truck. Going under settings now, you have 2 different menus. You can see everything on this screen as well as the next screen over. And then if we take the truck and go ahead and put it into reverse, your standard backup camera will come up with guidelines that'll change. You can even see your trailer hitch right in the center, and then all of your parking sensors over on the right side. Then we can grab the shifter and put us back into park. And then moving below the screen now, you can see your manual controls for all of the radio settings. We have volume on off on the left, tuning over on the right side, a few manual controls. All of the climate controls also come up right in the center now. You can see an on off button, as well as all your defrost and recirc and air conditioning with all of your different temperatures. And then below that, we have 2 different 12 volts as well as 2 USBs and some storage. We have the engine start stop feature, the locking rear differential, traction control, and trailering. The actual 4-wheel drive selector is right here that you can easily turn to go into your different 4-wheel drive modes all the way up to 4 low. And then the shifter also has a plus and minus feature, so you can shift when you are in drive. You also have a sport mode down below for a little bit more aggressive shifting. We have your manual e-brake right now, as well as 2 cup holders over on the right side, and then a black armrest. If we push the button up front, we can open this up. We have quite a lot of space in here. As you can see, it's very deep for larger items, and I like how it cuts out for the cup holders. Over on the right side now, we can open up the glove box. We have a ton of space in here. As you can see, it's a really nice sized bucket for a lot of items. And then closing that up, one last look at the Ford Ranger for the interior. Nice and simple in here, very user friendly. You can see all of the buttons are super simple to see. And then I really like the fabric design within these seats. And then moving up top to the ceiling now, you can see the fabric design as well as a sunglass holder and your dome lights. And then to go ahead and take a look at the rear seat space, we can just grab the door handle and open it up. The rear door panel is finished off just like we saw up front. And then we have the same fabric seats back here like we saw up front. All of the stitching as well as the cool stripe design. And this is a 3-seater bench seat back here. We have some storage on the back side of the passenger seat. Then we get 2 USB ports and a 3-prong outlet, as well as a little bit of storage space. The seats also are configurable. There's a strap in the front right here. If I pull this forward, I can lift the entire base up and lock it into place. We have a lot of storage now that reveals itself with 2 different cubbies on the left and right side. Really makes it nice and usable for hidden storage space. And then by just grabbing the strap, I can unlock it and lower this all the way back down. And then by just pulling the strap over on the passenger side, you can unlock the backrest. This will fold down for a little bit better access to what's in the back. We have a little bit of storage here as well as your tire changing kit. And then if we go ahead and lock this back. So then now into the back seat of this 2021 Ford Ranger. I'm 5'11". I even have the driver's seat set at my height. My knees have a few inches of legroom as well. My feet are fitting nicely under it. Then as far as headroom goes, I have about an inch above my head, so it's pretty roomy back here. And the incline angle for these backrests are actually pretty comfortable. They're in a good place to where you're pretty good back here. We have a nice little armrest on this door, as well as a lot of glass in here to make it feel nice and open. Then if I go ahead and take a look in the center, we can pull this strap, open up this armrest. We also have 2 cup holders right here, and then we can go ahead and close this up. We have a lot of glass back here as well for better visibility. And then we have your dome lights up on the ceiling and then grab handles on the left and right side. And then to take a look at the bed space now, we can open up the tailgate. We have a painted bed in here, as you can see, with a tie-down hook in each corner. And the tailgate doesn't weigh too much, so we can easily lift it up and close it. Alright guys, so we are setting off in the 2021 Ford Ranger with the EcoBoost engine. We'll give it a little bit of gas and get right up to speed. Wow, that is 50 miles an hour without even going close to 4,000 RPM. So that's the only engine option. You get the 4-cylinder turbo engine in this truck. And honestly, you have plenty of power. Like you just saw, that was no big deal getting up to some speed. I like how quick and peppy it is. And all that torque is going to be great for when you're towing or things like that. This truck can tow over 7,000 pounds when properly equipped. So it is very capable. And then of course, with the bed space and things like that, you can haul a lot of things with the Ford Ranger. So as we are driving now, this is pretty comfortable actually. Armrests are in a great place. Steering wheel you can easily configure a bit, and these seats are actually really comfortable. They have a lot of padding in them and good support as well. You have a really good view out of the windshield, and I like all the contours you can see within the hood. Just gives it a nice feeling when you're in this truck. The mirrors are really large on the side as well as the rear view mirror. And then looking through the side windows, those are very large as well. Over your right and left shoulder, you have a lot of glass back there. Most pickup trucks have really good visibility. I definitely don't see any issues with the Ranger. You can easily see what's going on behind you, and you can kind of see inside the bed just a little bit if you lift your head up and look through that rear view mirror. As far as the overall ride comfort, quality, things like that, we're hitting a few little bumps within the road, and it seems pretty composed. You don't feel anything jarring or anything like that. It's pretty quiet in here as well. You don't really hear too much wind noise or road noise or anything like that, but for being a smaller sized truck, I think it does a pretty good job isolating you from the elements going on around. And then as far as using the interior, this is a very simple vehicle to use. There's nothing fancy about the interior. It is very basic and very simple, which I think a lot of truck owners are gonna like. Of course, there's plenty of trucks in this segment, but I think at least with the Ranger, if you want just something very simple and easy to use, this is a way to go. The climate control is right on the screen. I think is a fantastic touch. Makes it super easy to know exactly what the truck's doing as far as the interior climate. And then of course the physical buttons down below if you don't want to have it up on the screen are nice to have. Everything else super simple. The font is nice and large, so you can easily tell what is going on. And then coming to a slower speed, we'll get back up to some speed on a twistier road. The turbo engine once again is going to get us right up to some speed without even straining it. It feels nice and peppy, and with the 10-speed automatic, I think that is a fantastic choice, especially for a smaller engine like this. You don't feel like you're in a 4-cylinder. It just feels like a solid power plant, and the gearing really delivers the power well to get this truck up and going. And like I said, with towing or things like that, I think with all those gears, you're really going to be in the proper power band no matter what. And then as far as taking some turns now in the truck, it feels pretty composed. Of course, there's a little bit of body roll when you go from left to right, but again, it's a pickup truck. It's not exactly a sports car. But I like how when you are taking some turns with it, it feels super solid to drive, you know, nothing crazy. It doesn't feel all over the place like some trucks do. So it's definitely a pretty solid driving experience. As far as the interior space, I have a lot of headroom back here, a good like 5-6 inches up there. And then I can move the seat far back if you're even taller than me. The passenger has quite a lot of space. And then in the back, I'd say it's about similar to other trucks in the category, which is good to see. And then as far as the trim levels, options, and things like that, you can really spec a Ranger to get what you want. You can go from a base model, just a 2-door truck with a longer bed if you'd like, just 2-wheel drive, very simple. Or of course, go all the way up to the Tremor, which is the off-road version. Not quite a Raptor Ranger like they get in the European market, but it is a pretty cool spec, which hopefully you can film one of them one day once they get one. But that one does give you an added lift kit and then a little bit more off-road capabilities. And then taking a really sharp turn now, just feeling it out. Yeah, like I said, nice and composed. Everything is super easy. The steering is very lightweight as well. It's not heavy or anything like that, so I think it's pretty easy to pilot around. And then once we are getting back up to a cruising speed once again, you are pretty up high. It's actually a truck that, while it's a smaller truck, you don't feel like you're in just a little truck. You feel like you're in a pretty good sized vehicle. Looking at other vehicles that are on the road in front of me, I can tell that I'm up high with them. So it's nice that this truck actually has some size to it. And then we got a really sharp turn coming up. Nice and composed, like I said. We have independent front suspension, of course, solid rear axle, and it definitely can handle some turns really well. All right, so then to finish it up, we'll do a 3-point turn to test the maneuverability. A little pothole to hit as well. Suspension absorbs that very well if you were to see taking this off-road. So 3-point turn, you can turn the steering wheel quite a lot into reverse, backup camera and sensors and everything. Pretty good turning radius overall. And I think for a truck like this, I actually made it without touching the grass. So pretty maneuverable, which is a really good feature, especially in a pickup truck. So then I think that is about it for the 2021 Ford Ranger. This one's a pretty nice spec, not crazy loaded, but you have a lot of good options in it. And of course, some really good capabilities for towing or off-roading, of course with 4-wheel drive, and then the trailer hitch package you get. Huge shout out and thank you once again to Mooresville Ford for providing this Ford Ranger for today's video. Definitely check out the link to their website in the description below. They're getting in a huge selection of the 2021 Ford lineup, so definitely check them out. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content to come, and I'll see you guys next video.